Hello world. Today is episode 35. We don't have a fun jingle today. I had more questions about our car, so we're enjoying the dusk and we're gonna take you on a walkthrough. This is Kate. For those who don't know Kate, say hi, Kate.
Hi.
All right, and this is our 2019 Subaru Ascent premium trim. Okay, and in our search for cars, one of the key things is we wanted to have 3 rows because we have an au pair and we had an au pair, we have a nanny. Pilo's over there. Watch out for Pilo, the dog. Why don't you sit over here? There you go. And our parents are off in here, so we needed room. Okay, so we needed a 3rd row that actually had space, and the Ascent actually fit the bill. The back seat was actually quite spacious. Now this is with the middle seats up all the way up. I'm gonna flip the camera around if I can. Okay, so I can actually see what I'm looking at. Okay, so these seats right here are all the way forward, but there is a lot of space, so we're gonna move it back. Okay, say hi to Penelope. And she's also buckled in. She has a a buckle to her harness. Now, we have a 1 and a 3-year-old kid, so we have to have 2 rear-facing car seats, and we're going to do extended rear-facing. Now, 3-year-olds don't necessarily have to be rear-facing, but our kids are 15 and 25 pounds. They are about 5 percentile. Okay, so I just moved this outboard passenger seat backwards. Okay, so you can see how much room there actually is to slide forward and backward. Now, I moved this all the way to the back here, and Kate, how's your leg room back there?
Pretty good.
How much room do you have from your knees?
I've got a few inches, maybe like 2 inches.
Okay, are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now, Kate is tiny, so we are fortunate that we are not big people. It is one of the benefits of having smaller people, is better fitting. Okay, so one of the most important things is we wanted to have 2 car seats that fit together, side by side. So this is what we call 2 together. For those of you who are not familiar with the car seat lady, she's a pediatrician. She has a whole bunch of information on 2 together and 3 across car seats. So this is a typical 60-40 split bench. And when you have young kids, you often want to be able to sit next to them so that you can actually interact with your children. Oh, I put it the wrong way. Sorry. So when you're having 2 seats together, one person can sit right here and you can interact with your 2 children. Okay, so this right here is a Combi Kokoro car seat. This is like the smallest car seat that is made. And it basically is just the same width as this middle portion. Okay, and then we have a Diono 3 RXT over there. And that is also one of the quote-unquote 3 across car seats. It's, I think, maybe 19 inches, but I'm not sure about that. But basically, you can fit that car seat and the Kokoro on this 60% side. Now, this 3rd outboard passenger seat, this is the widest of the seats. And you can fit like a regular, wider 2 across car seat over here, or you can actually have a 3rd person. Okay, so Kate, I'm going to, actually, can you lift this up right here? Okay, and just push it forward. Okay, and show how much space there is to get in and out of the car. We wanted to be able to have access to the 3rd row easily. Hi, Brandon, and hi, Vera. So my parents could get in here, and there's a lot of space to have 1 foot and another foot and to get in. Okay, so she was able to get herself out easily. Now, if we put this back up, okay, Kate, why don't you go ahead and sit there on the outboard passenger seat. Okay, now see, she currently has a ton of room here. Hey, Brett. And so she has a bunch of space. And the other 2 car seats are there. Now, I'm going to go to the other side, walk around the car, and we have these 2 across car seats, and I have the car seat slid all the way to the front just to show how much room there is still to access. I can tilt this forward a little bit, not much, because the car seats prevent you from forward reclining or reverse reclining it. but you can see how much space there is to still actually walk through. So when I go from here to here, I put my hand across, I can walk through. It's basically shoulder width for me to get through and access the back. Now that's very important, because if that third seat has a car seat there, I wanted to make sure that we could still access the third row without having to take one car seat out, because taking a car seat out and putting it in is the biggest pain in the butt. Now, in order to get this car seat, or this middle row seat, as far forward as it is, I did have to move the driver's seat as far forward as it would allow me to, okay? But that's just to show that if you want to get somebody into the third row without taking out a car seat, which is key, all you need to do is get out of the driver's seat or the passenger seat and move the middle row all the way through the front. And that's even using rear-facing convertible car seats, which is these are like the longest types of car seats that you're going to have from anterior to posterior direction. If you have a forward-facing car seat, this is like not an issue. Okay, so at the moment we have a minivan and we have 2 rear-facing car seats and we have the 2 captain's chairs. The problem is, in the Pacifica, you can't move the seats forward and backward. Odyssey allows you to move them in and out with their magic seats, but in the Pacifica, you can't move them forward or back. So you can't really access the third row because this seat is right here and it goes all the way to the front. There's nowhere to slide it forward. So you basically have to go through the trunk in order to access the third row in the minivan. So it's not very convenient when we're trying to get grandmother into the back row. Okay, so I move this back all the way back. Hey Eric, good to see you here. If I move that seat back, and I can move my driver's seat back to its correct location, so I'm gonna reverse, or I'm gonna recline it. Okay, and you should have some clearance here. You want to have at least a couple inches of clearance, because in the instance of a collision, there is going to be some rebound, and you don't want it to hit the car seat in front. Okay, so in this situation, and I sit down here, for me, at the moment, I'm pretty comfortable. Kate, you're pretty comfortable? Okay. If somebody's longer legged, it'll be a little bit more difficult. But actually, let me make sure I have this all the way to the back. Oh, there we go. I just let it all the way to the back. Now, moving it all the way to the back, there is a ton of space. My whole hand fits there. And here I am. And I can actually move my seat back pretty far. Here, I'm super comfortable. This is a lot of space for my legs. I wouldn't need any more space than this. And I still have room behind the car seat, between that and the driver's seat. And everything is still attached. Kate, why don't you get into the third row and show that there's still room behind this seat right here. Slide it all the way forward. Slide it all the way forward from the bottom. All the way. And you just need to move this a little bit inward to give it a little space. There you go. Keep going. There you go. And tilt it forward. There you go. Oh, one more time. Tilt it forward. There you go. Okay, so there's a ton of room. Okay, and then get all the way back over here behind this seat to show that there's still space. And
okay, CPO low.
I'm gonna walk around one more time. And there you go. And Kate still has room. Still has a few inches there. So this car allowed us to have up to 3 car seats. Okay, up to 3 car seats across, full access to the third row, and without having to take out any car seats. That is like a very difficult combination. And also using rear-facing car seats without interfering with the driver's side. Now, I like having the 2 car seats there because when you're driving, you don't have as much obstruction looking out here towards the passenger side second row window. Now, when we looked at comparable cars, we looked at everything in this class. Now, I really, really like the Telluride. The Telluride had a big issue right over here because this seatbelt on the Telluride is really far lateral, and the buckle stocks over here were very medial. And so whenever I tried to put a car seat in the middle, I could not get two car seats together in the Telluride with these two seats. And this is like the smallest seat. The car seat lady doesn't actually do tests with this because it doesn't last your kids super long. But it is the smallest one around for rear facing. So I like the Palisade and the Telluride, but I could not get this car seat to be stable.
But this goes up to how many pounds?
This one goes up to, why do you ask me this stuff live?
It goes up to like bigger kids.
Up to 40 pounds. 40 pounds and 40 inches. So it actually goes a good amount. So this will go long enough until one of them hopefully is front facing, and then the front facing one will go in the middle. Okay, so we wanted to have 8 seats, so that ruled out the Atlas. The Atlas also had really good, I'm going to flip back over. Let me see if I can switch cameras. Okay, yeah, the Atlas had really good access to the third row because that has tilt forward on the bottom, right over here. So this will tilt up. But when you have a rear-facing car seat there's still not much room for that. So the Atlas and the QX60, which are basically both of them have that tilt and slide setting on this second row seat. They both have only 2 seats in the back, so you can only seat 7. The same thing with the Volvo XC90, which is a great car. It only has 2 in the back. Also, the third row space in the XC90 is less than this, so it is pretty tight. They do that, from my understanding, because they want to have more crumple zone between the bumper and the third row passengers, but that's just what I have heard. The Highlander, super small back. The same thing with the Pilot. Really hard to access that third row. Really not practical for adults. Oh, and this does reverse recline.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, one of the things you can do is, here's our Wavy Pico. This is like the best car seat if you ever are traveling on an airplane. This thing weighs like 5 pounds. It's awesome. It's only front facing though. So there is a recline for this seat, but I don't see it right now. But this does allow you to, oh, there it goes. Okay, so you can tilt this back.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a lot more.
So now there's a lot more space in the third row.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of dark.
It is getting a little bit dark. So we spent so many hours trying out so many cars, trying to get something that allowed us access to the third row without taking out car seats, that has a bench in the middle that we could put 2 together or 3 across to give us maximal flexibility. Also, if we were to have a third child. And Penelope right now is our third child, and she enjoys the back. But the back does fold flat, so you can use that for extra cargo. Interestingly, you can't get a middle row bench in the top trim in like any car, any SUV. If you look at the Telluride, the EX has the bench, not the SX. The same thing with the Palisade. The same thing here with the Subaru Ascent. So the Ascent comes in 4 trims, the base, then you have the Premium, which is what this is, then you have the Limited, then you have, on top is the Touring. And the Touring also only comes with captain's chairs, so you have to go down to the Limited or lower to get the bench. The Limited has leather seats, and it does have the LED lights, which is the one nice safety feature that we don't have here. It also has built-in sunshades. This one does not. But I think I can upgrade the lights on my own.
Let's do it.
in the summertime, leather seats get super hot anyway, and we're gonna put covers on them, so leather wasn't as important to me, although it is definitely easier to clean. We didn't get the sunroof or the navigation because, well, this is what the deal was. I was looking for limiteds and premiums. I wanted a limited, but when this came in at $28,000, I had to snag it. Cars like this, good deals do not last long. If you look at Ascent anywhere at dealerships, there's usually a very limited amount of supply. They are very, very, very popular vehicles. Very good value. And so I've been tracking them like on Car Gurus. Anytime something became like a great deal under the categorization of its price to what it was, it would be gone within a couple of days. So this went down to a great deal. It was listed at 34, eventually went down to 28.4, and I went in the next day as soon as I saw it, and I bought it. Usually I negotiate things never at the dealership. That's like golden rule for like negotiation. Never do it at the dealership because you're on their turf. But this price was already so good, I knew that it would be gone based on the experience of other vehicles at this price point. So I got there, I negotiated from outside. I really don't like to negotiate prices down too much because I honestly do believe that they need to make money too. But I do like to try to get them to throw in some kickers, like give us window shades, which is not a big deal, or like a cover for the back in the trunk. They tried to swing this on me where they put on a $2,000 charge for certifying the vehicle. I've seen that done before. That's a bunch of BS. It's listed at $28,400 as a certified car. I'm not going to pay $2,000 for them as an additional price to certify. So I got that off. And then I had initially negotiated a few add-ons, which would be just like a few $100s of value, that those little kickers to make the deal happen. And then we all agreed on that. And then when I told him that I wasn't going to finance it, then he backed away and took away that offer. I was really pretty upset about that because he had already agreed. So you always want to negotiate on your price first. You don't want to negotiate on terms. You want to negotiate on price, because they try to get people to negotiate based on monthly payments. That's BS. That's how they make money. They just stretch it out with longer payments, and they could put you on like a 72-year note. So I negotiate a price up front, whatever they throw in, that's what we sign, and then we can discuss the financing of it afterward. Whatever. I was about to walk away from it, and actually I kind of did, but then once I realized that they were actually walking away from the deal too, because he told me just to leave the keys in the car, and I did, and I walked away, and he didn't go after me, so I realized, well, they actually can't make this deal happen if I do cash and they throw in those add-ins. So whatever, I called them back. I said, okay, we'll get the deal done, and we got it done. So yeah, that was our story. It didn't have certain things that I did want. Like Ascent does not have 360-degree camera, and it does not, this model does not have lane centering. That happened not until the 2021 models, which have just come out now. But 2021 model is going to cost around $37,000, and this was $28,000. So it's like a $9,000 less for 1 year older and 11,000 miles. But then I got it certified pre-owned with the gold warranty package, which was only $400, which added 84 months of warranty from the day I purchased it, and up to 100,000 miles. So that's 89,000 more miles. That was a steal. So in terms of value, this is an unbelievable value. It provided all the safety features I wanted: blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert. We live on a busy street. Automatic emergency braking is actually the most important thing that you should have in a vehicle. That is the most likely thing to prevent a collision. And it also had lane keeping assist and adaptive cruise control. Those were the things that were absolute musts for me. I'm sure in the future they'll have 360-degree camera, but they don't even have it on the 2021 model. I really wanted to have what do you call it, a heads-up display, but they right in front of you above the steering wheel, but they don't have that on this car yet. But maybe in a couple of years. In the meantime, this is an incredible value. We needed a third car anyway, and so we're going to keep this car likely for a long time, probably at least until the warranty runs out. All of our other cars, we have a 2008 Subaru Outback, which is way older, and a 2016 Pacifica. Also, crash test ratings. This had like 5 stars in every category pretty much. And the Telluride actually has lower crash test scores than this. IIHS looks at safety scores, and that is the one thing that this does not have meet like the top criteria, because it doesn't have the LED lights. That was only available again on the limited or the touring trim, but I'm hoping that I can just get that upgraded separately, because at that price, at that substantial discount, I have a lot of margin to just upgrade the things I want to. And I think that's about it. Oh, mileage-wise, it says 21 and 26. I actually got 30 miles a gallon the other day on a 60-mile round trip across town and back. So it can actually do very well, especially given the size. And that's about it. Any other car things that we need to mention? Oh, the Honda Odyssey has the magic seats, which is awesome if you want a minivan. We already had one minivan, and they are pretty expensive, in my opinion, for what they are, but they hold their value very well. It's hard to get a great deal on them.
And our other Subaru, the 2008. It's 2008, we still have it.
But you still have it. It has 91,000 miles on it, and it's still ticking.
I bought it in med school.
So, all right. I think I covered everything on the car that I needed to cover. That should be about it until the next time we buy another vehicle. I would love to have like a hybrid or a battery-powered 3-row SUV. But at the moment, that's like the T8 Volvo XC90, which is crazy expensive. But these things will come down to other vehicles in the near future. All right.
Bye.
All right, episode 35. Take care.